Hello, you beautiful legends, and welcome to Blunt Force Healing Podcast. This is episode number 698, and we are currently into Friday morning. This is one of not many episodes that I am able to record in the morning because of how much of a late wake up person I am. But this time I am deploying in the morning with the sauna to the beach. I should be there in a couple of minutes. I just allow the fire to stabilize a little bit before I enter the windy zone. So I decided to use that time wisely and record today's update, or in fact the update about yesterday. So Thursday was one of those days that are not super exciting, like most of them, but there were a couple of highlights that I want to update you on. First of them is continuation of what I started or what I mentioned yesterday, which is the process of quitting or exiting existing 9-to-5 job, which is for now hard to say if it's going smooth or not, but so far it was smooth, so I can't really tell if there will be any bumps on the road, but I am happy in how it goes, so there won't be much about that boring topic except maybe some updates if necessary. The morning itself on Thursday was pretty standard. I woke up quite late and we did our regular routine in the morning. Elizabeth had hair stuff to do. Julian also has always his routine. I might not like it for now, and we might need to change it, but for now it is what it is. And we need to adjust it because I think he's using a little bit too much of the devices. I understand it's technology, he was born into it, and whatever happens in the world, we are kind of stuck with it for a while, or maybe forever. But I just think that even though he's a smart boy, the tech is a bit winning in terms of catching his attention and holding it for too long. So I'll be working on it in a couple of next weeks or months. One particular highlight that I forgot to mention before is that even though we resigned from any holidays in the summer season for the sake of having a sauna, we decided to book a trip to Tenerife, and we were avoiding Canaries for too long because of their touristic nature, but we decided to explore Gran Canaria last time, and we wanted to go to somewhere hot enough, but also having a lot of hikes and opportunities to explore a bit. And after visit to Gran Canaria, especially in the last 2 or 3 days where we were at La Playa de Aldea, and we saw Tenerife on a clear day in the distance, especially El Teide, which is basically the whole island is volcanic island, and it's one huge volcano in essence, which is obviously dormant, but it still is quite high because I think it's about somewhere between 3,500 and 5,000 meters. I don't remember exactly, but it's a decent enough that you could see the clouds over the sea and then the mountain peaking in a distance above the clouds. So this will be an interesting trip because we definitely want to go on top of El Teide. And from yesterday's update, the first half of the day was pretty average. I went on some grocery shopping to buy some kindlings because I was running off them, and I wanted to vacuum the car because we literally have like a sand beach at the moment in the car, but that industrial vacuum cleaner or Hoover, however you call it, is still not working properly. They are waiting for a part, and I don't want to use any other vacuum cleaner because on other gas stations these are not, they don't have the best suction. On this particular station where it's broken, it's a Karcher proper industrial vacuum cleaner with a kind of narrow nozzle, so it actually has a proper suction when it works. So we'll see how it goes. And I could use the vacuum cleaner like the home type, but I don't want to destroy it with all those stones, sand, and particles that might be not well handled by standard home vacuum cleaner. And after all of that, we prepped for dinner, and Julian stayed at home and played a bit of games, while Elizabeth and myself, we deployed the sauna for the evening. We had already a couple of bookings prepaid, so we knew it's already worth a go. It's always worth a go, especially even if one or two bookings are there, but obviously the business is for the sake of doing multiple of them daily, hopefully on average. So this was low tide. The tide was still going out, so I went onto the beach. We heated sauna up, and even before we started the regular time, we've got first walk-ins. So it was nice that just about the sauna reached about 60-65 degrees Celsius. We've got already people there, and they thoroughly enjoyed it. And outside of that, we had a couple of bookings with small gaps in between. And at some stage we got another big booking, well, big, like the large walk-in in numbers, because it was, I think, 4 or 5 people straight away, which was great because we had a little bit of gap and they basically filled that gap. So we had a very decent run, and we were able to finish up early, about half an hour or 1 hour, because it was already getting darker a bit. It was very windy, a bit rainy at times, but generally it was most of that deployment was dry. But yeah, it emptied the beach almost completely. There was no people really to serve, and the bookings were not coming in, so we decided to shorten the deployment and go back home. And then we obviously ate the dinner, and it was the end of the day. But in between all those events, one big booking came in for tomorrow morning. So we have a huge group of people coming in for an hour, and they booked a private session, so we won't be able to facilitate anyone outside. I already eliminated those dates or times from the booking system. One went through before I did that, so I reached out to the person that booked it with the option to refund, or if they want to take earlier hour, they were fine with taking earlier slot. So that's great. I love the way that when you deal nicely with people, they are nice, mostly nice to you. So we didn't have any difficult customers per se so far, which is also great on one side. On the other is like, if you get them, then obviously you're not prepared when you have all the nice customers around. But yeah, I dealt with difficult customers in the past, and I know that there's no such thing like difficult customers usually. There are just people that have different perspective, and they are difficult to us because they don't fit our view of the world maybe, or they are going through something in their private life. There is always a reason why someone is so-called difficult. So I always try to unload that burden and deal with them in a way that they feel better after the experience, rather than making it even worse for myself and for them. And it usually works, so I'm happy with the way I operate, and I'll be continuing to do that. So that's pretty much it for today. Thank you very much for being here. As always, I appreciate your time. It's amazing to have such a small but tight community of people listening, watching, reading. I think the blog itself has about 55 subscribers, which is amazing, because it was already amazing when I got the first 2 or 3 subscribers. Well, the first subscriber was obviously amazing, but having a couple of people reading the blog, and now knowing that 55 people, that most of them already have blogs or websites, so it's not like the usual follow on social media. These are other blogs kind of following my blog, so that's significant. So 55 is a huge number in comparison to big numbers on social media that sometimes are just, accidental follows, or just follows but not real watchers or listeners. To say the least, this is the amazing number. And obviously on YouTube and Spotify. On Spotify, that's probably, I have exactly 2 followers. So there are spikes in listens on Spotify, but only 2 active, and one in particular subscriber is there that's listening most of the episodes, which is amazing. Again, I thank you for that. And on YouTube, obviously, I have huge audience, because there's, I think at the moment, about 9.5K. This is the I would say the most grown channel. But again, the number of people watching the episodes, and especially watching in full, is probably very low, if at all. Some of the episodes are probably watched in, just in part, not in full. So while the audience is huge, the quality of consumption of the content is much lower. But I still appreciate each and every one of you guys, because that means a lot. That means that I'm not speaking to a wall or to the air, and it makes it therapeutical to some extent. And obviously, if any of you needs any warm words in the podcast, I have no problem in saying it. If you need some private exchange, you know where to find me. You can start with the comments, or the usual channels, and we can talk if you need. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. For now, that's it. Thank you very much. Have a great rest of the day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are on this beautiful globe, and stay tuned. See you tomorrow.